Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. For this episode, I'm going to jump into some interesting lore, this time with the Unicorn storyline of Gundam UC. We're all familiar with Banagher Lynx and his Unicorn Gundam, and also the Silver Bullet Suppressor, but there is another suit that he has, and it's quite awesome. We're going to take a look at that. But before we do, if you haven't, please subscribe. And as you're watching this video and it seems pretty cool, give it a like, and feel free to check the links in the description for some of the community events going on our Discord and the Patreon. It has some cool perks. But let's get started. All right, so I might be a little biased here, right? I love the Mark II. I think a lot of people do. I think even if you have a favorite mobile suit, you just can't deny how awesome the Mark II is. It's the Gundam fully realized. It's when the Gundam finally gets its unlimited budget and allowing Tomino to do whatever he wants with his designers. And the Mark II is something they came up with. And even for a latecomer into getting into the Gundam UC, the Mark II just stood out to me, and it's still one of my favorite suits. So surprised when I heard that Banagher used a Mark II between Unicorn and the events of Narrative. I find that very interesting, so let's take a look at it. And quickly, for those that don't have too much background on Banagher Lynx, here he is, main character of Gundam Unicorn. He's like the Amuro Ray. He's a very cool character. I think Unicorn's a very cool story. With all of the previous knowledge of Universal Century, once you get to Unicorn, the story just ties everything together and is really well made. And the same with this character. Very cool. There he is in his pilot suit. And if we look down at what he's piloted, there's a few things here that we're familiar with. The main thing being the Unicorn and then the Silver Bullet Suppressor. But we do see a Gundam Mark II here, which is pretty cool. So the Mark II in Zeta is a direct descendant of the original RX-78-2. But this was developed by the Titan. So it even started off as a bad guy mobile suit. Another thing to keep in mind is it's the first mobile suit to utilize the new movable frame concept, and that kind of changed the way Gundams are made. It made it very easy to add things onto it, take things apart, and a lot of future mobile suit development is based on what the Mark II introduced. So we're familiar with the Mark II being used in Zeta. Even the first Neo Zeon War that we see in Double Zeta, it was piloted by some of the crew. And this is where we last see it. So, at the end of the first Neo Zeon War, the Gundam Mark II was severely damaged against the NZ-000 Queen Mansa and abandoned by Ellie. It is said that the unit was recovered and repaired, but ultimately retired from service after the AUG was reabsorbed into the Earth Federation, being put into storage alongside the Zeta Gundam. So, this last one we know of was actually just put into storage, right? Now, there are some interpretations of there being 4 because of some official artwork that's been released, and it showed a 4th Mark II. But as far as we know, really, that we can account for, there are the 3 here. And so what do you know? Banagher, after the events of Unicorn, the Unicorn gets locked up, needs a new mobile suit, and I guess he goes into the Federation storage. Now, the AUG is absorbed into the Federation at this point and gets the Mark II out of there, and he modifies it. As a pilot of the Unicorn Gundam, one of his favorite weapons is the Magnum Beam Rifle, and it's so powerful. It required him to modify the suit of the Mark II. If you look at the right arm there, how it looks a little different. We'll get a closer look. But this is from a manga. According to this comment down here, this is from a side story of Gundam UC called Return of the Lion properly referring to the Banshee that Riddy was in. This is before Banagher gets the Silver Bullet Suppressor, so he uses this customized Mark II. And it's very interesting just to think that during this time period, we have someone like Banagher in a Mark II. It seems very cool because it just shows really how powerful the legacy of the Mark II is. I mean, being used by someone like Banagher. Here's an additional rendition, and I don't know who the artist is. I was trying to look up who it was, but this is just a sick design to look at. So we get the look of the Mark II, but it's all white. Love it. Similar to the Unicorn, the real type markings are placed just right, and the red, that red and white really looks good. But we're also noticing that the right arm is a little different, especially the shoulder, and it looks like there's 2 arms put together. Now, from what I understand, this is from a Dovenwolf, and I'll have some more info on that here in a second. But this perhaps was modified in this way to be able to continue to use the Beam Magnum, because really maybe with the Mark II, the mobile suit itself is still good with its movability, its customization, but maybe the weaponry is just not as powerful. So having the modification to use the B Magnum keeps the mobile suit toe-to-toe, especially with someone like Banagher, who is, as a new type, just good on his own with maneuvering a mobile suit. So I found this on Twitter from a Richie Boy. And he is saying Banagher's Gundam Mark II is probably my new favorite variant, and as luck would have it, I have most of the parts lying around. Plan is to modify the Dovin Wolf upper arm to fit with the proportions better, and then knock together the hydraulics. So what he's speaking of is where he's taken the high-grade Dovin Wolf right arm, put it on the Mark II and modified it, trying to give it that look to where it has like the dual arm thing going on. It's pretty cool. And all of this started from this Instagram account, FN Studio. I was just blown away by seeing the advance of Zeta Gunpla he has here. I'm working on these right now, and just seeing these totally demotivates me from finishing my build. No, it actually motivates me. I have to get some techniques down because this is amazing. And look at this Barzam, amazing looking. But what I originally saw was this, and this is just so appealing to the eye. This is him pretty much reproducing it as a model kit. I mean, this is top tier stuff right here. I know I'm gushing all over it, but this is then what I saw the sale. I was like, okay, I need to get a hold of this, but it had been sold. So it's very awesome to see that this Gunpla creator can really make some amazing Gunpla and then puts them for sale. I'm waiting for this to go up for sale. If it does, I don't know if this was already a commission to be sent off, but here's kind of when he was starting off. He was getting the proportions correct. Like, it's really cool to see when Gunpla customizers go this far, because they're essentially creating something that may as well be better than the original manufacturer. You know, I was kind of looking around to see how much it would be to get a Dovin Wolf kit, because that seems like a pretty fun custom to build myself, but the prices seem pretty high. 114, 62 for a different version, but it still has that same arm. 78. So it's like, I would pay to have that kit to build it, but to then modifying it for it to not be usable just for another kit, that might be hard to do. So I just got to keep my eyes out for it, or see if there's some way I can obtain the shoulder/arm piece. Now, I'm trying to find some more official information about it to kind of confirm some of these observations. The only Gundam Wiki link actually comes to someone asking about it and someone posting a picture as a reply. There's actually not a page for this, and I feel like there needs to be. One, I need to obtain a copy of that manga, hopefully translated into English, that might provide some more information. And then I'd like to maybe even make the wiki page for this, have it linked. I would even call it I would just call it the RX-178 Mark II Banagher Links Custom. I think, or just the Mark II Custom. I think that, maybe Banagher Links Custom, I guess, because it's really specific for that Magnum gun. All right, so there you go. I thought it'd be interesting to dive into this suit because it's some further unicorn lore, but also more about the Mark II, which has this incredible legacy where it was built upon the original Granddaddy Gundam, and even up to the point up after you see a formidable pilot like Banagher Links is still willing to use it in battle. So that's very awesome. So curious what you think about the Mark II custom. You might have some more information about it that I missed, or other variations of suits that we normally don't see but are very cool. Be interested to see what you guys think. But anyway, we'll talk later. Have a good one.